Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Tuesday morning. Got a great show lined up. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. And today's going to be keeping us warm. It's going to be cold, folks. I think you've been watching the weather. Highs not going to get out of the 40s, maybe 46, 47. Lows I've seen anywhere from 23, 24 here on the coast, and Bitter Grantham and all you folks inland. It's going to be really, really cold tonight. It'll be a first hard freeze. So be prepared for that. We'll know about the pets and your plants and I don't know about you, but we'll certainly have a lot of logs on the fire. So anyway, it's going to be cold. River readings, I don't have them this morning. I'll get them for you tomorrow. The river's still high, but it is falling out. I went across it the other day. It's just way up, and it's good and bad. It's bad because it can be a little risky out there, but it's good that it gets on out in there in that floodplain area and really refreshes that area. And some fishermen really focus. I've talked with some this past weekend. They really focus on the high water and getting back into there, and they're good on catfishing. But that's a specialty kind of thing. So anyway, moving along. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Looking at today is January the 16th, and it's back in the neap tides. The neap tides the next 3 or 4 days. This weekend the tide's going to look good though. The wind becoming northwest about 14. And it's going to be blowing. It's going to be cold. The wind chill is going to be really cold. So limit your outdoor activity today. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And I've said this many times on the show. What keeps us going is real people like you, and this is the real deal is in the Florida Panhandle with the folks here. And I appreciate the feedback we get, and that's that it doesn't get any better than that because, like I said, Friday's show is frontline reports. And I got one thing that was interesting over this past weekend. I got 9 different reports from 9 different people went surf fishing, and I tell you it's going to be don't even fool in surf fishing. Well, 9 people went and from Navarre all the way down to St. George Island. I was picked up reports. 0 out of 9 caught fish. So when you listen to my Friday fishing report, I'm just not blowing smoke. It's good. Now on the other end, J.B. Hullard sent this, and I remember I talked about P&L ponds and lakes. Okay, here's what J.B., who was an expert, one of the best fishermen around. J.B. sent this. He said, "Hey Winston, with the Choctaw River in the minor flood stage, a good alternative is small lake fishing. The photo of Gil Price or the best of our trip to North Holmes County. I finally caught a 2-pound crappie. That is my personal best." Now, when he catches his personal best at 80-something years old, that is impressive. And we've had Gil Price on the show before, and what a nice mess of fish. And Gil, he's very innovative and has all kinds of things going with his bait company, so it's good to get that report. Along the same lines, too, switching over to the hunting area, we've done this before too. If you're trying to get on lease, or if you want someone on the lease, share that with us, and we'll try to hook it together. We've got some people together, and it's been so far it worked out really good. It's been a win-win for both parties. So I know this time of year, as hunting season, they see the end of it, but they already think about next year. So it's amazing that some of these leases how huge they are, and yet some of them have only a couple hundred acres with 2 or 3 people, so the leases are good. Now, talking about those tornadoes, a week ago today, really, and we got hit a lot harder than people thought we got hit. People in all kind of areas, the Bayou George area, and it was really fascinating to track those tornadoes. And I went back and looked at it track by track, and yes, there was one close to our house, and it landed, but it just had to skip along. But anyway, I was thinking about the first aid. A lot of times you just isolate when something happens so quick and somebody's hurt, and people, they're not going to get to you right away. They can't get to you. So sometimes it'll be 30 or 45 minutes. So it's critical on that first aid, and maybe think about the same kind of things we talked about with my class, outdoor first aid. When someone gets hurt in outdoors and you're sort of isolated, when you got to get immediate attention. Of course, the first thing you think about is something flying around, you're getting cut in the head or bleeding and all. And just a reminder, just to share this, I know most of y'all know it, but a lot of young people don't know this stuff. Stop the bleeding, and you stop, okay? First thing, of course, you do that with the pressure, and bringing in towels or whatever you can find to stop the bleeding. Once this little note I would always tell my students, once that fabric or towel or what a shirt or whatever you have on that cut, once it becomes saturated, try to change it, because that's what nurses and doctors tell you to do. So really, that's important too. If it's a break and you see it's a break, try to just sit it on something solid, like if you find a board or something, just sit it on it, and so it won't move, flop back and forth. And keep them still if it's a leg break, and just keep them safe, make sure they're comfortable. Also, CPR. We used to really concentrate on CPR with some of our first aid classes. They took them out of our curriculum because, anyway, we don't do them. But it's important that we know CPR. I was thinking the other day, I basically know it, but I haven't thought about it in a long time. I need to review it myself and make sure and just practice on it. So there's any kind of quick tentative things like that. That goes along for tornadoes, emergencies, but also out in the woods or out on the water. I feel it's important to talk about those kind of things. So that's important. And if they go into shock, and you can tell they go into shock, of course, keep them warm, put a blanket on, keep them warm, and try to keep talking to them. So those things are important. You read on a regular basis, and especially now with social media, how something happens to someone, how they're saved, or sometimes they're not saved because it's not the right steps were taken. So those first responders, that's what they call first responders, they'll get to you as quick as they can, I can promise you, and you know that. But we as an individual, as outdoorsmen, as a citizen, we need to do what we can and to do that. So I just wanted to share that with you. So anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I heard from Bill Roxby over here in Santa Rosa Beach. Bill was really good about sending some video of his backyard activities, especially the bears. And I hadn't heard from him in a month or so good to hear from you, Bill. So here's what we have right here. He said, hey, Coach, I always respect nature, but I wish we could better understand rather than stereotype these animals. So here we go. I'm going to turn it. Let me see. Here we go. This is the backyard. So look at here. This bear. First thing I noticed how shiny, look at there, he's just playing a game, but he's shiny, he's just entertaining. This is a great little video. So looking around, and I said, Bill, I don't know if that's a wind chime he put up or just something for him to play with, but look at him. So he brings it to him, and then he's thinking about it. He's trying to get a smell to it. And he can't figure it out, because he's figuring out this is nothing out in the wild. So what is it? This is right out of the back porch. It's moving around. So well, heck, let me try to taste it. Look at him. He puts his mouth on it, tries to taste it, and it feels a little hard. This is nature in the Florida Panhandle on the front line with Bill Roxby. Came back and hit him. And okay, he's bored with it, so. Well, now it plays with it again. That's fascinating. It reminds you of a kid in a bed playing with little wind things. Okay, then he sent, this one played out, and then he sent me another one. Now watch this. We don't get video like this very often, so looking at this tree, so he's gonna walk on off, so he moves to another, he's getting closer to the house now. Isn't that a pretty coat? I told Bill, one of the first thing I noticed how shiny the coat is this time of year. That's his winter coat. Now, let me just sit down a minute. Let me just relax in Bill's backyard. I need some bird feed. See the bird feeder? he needs some more bird feed. So then he got that one. Then he sent, let me see, he sent one more. We'll show it real quick if we get it going. So he's sitting there. Now this is a lot more in focus. Look at the hair. I mean, isn't that a beautiful, they're really beautiful animals. He's looking for something to eat. I told Bill he needs to put some more bird feed out. He's getting up. I don't know if you name these or not, but only on Panhandle Outdoors can you see that. See where it's bent over? My bird feeder the same way, it's bent over. Anyway, thank you, Bill Roxby, for sharing that with us. And it's really amazing to watch those animals like that. And that one, honestly, that one, I wouldn't use the word domesticated. That particular one has been around a lot of different places with people. You don't think it's scared of people. So anyway, and really you're not supposed to feed them. I'm kidding about putting the bird feed out. You're not supposed to feed them. And speaking of cool little animals and all, I ran across this. This is over here. Let me see. This is St. Mark's, talking about wildlife photography. And some of y'all may want to get into it because we have so many great state parks and national areas around here. So here's one from St. Mark's, right down the road here on the other side of Carabel. It's just a group of folks there, and basically this amateur. This guy he's an amateur, or this lady, but she's watching the otters, and they were diving in a ball of mullet. So they took some pictures. I'm gonna share these pictures with you. Is that not okay? There were 7 otters out there, and they were diving. Isn't that a cool picture? He's got a big mullet right there, and that's what they're thriving on. See, look at it. Now this is, I thought, first thing I noticed about this, he's chewing it up, but he's swallowing it just the opposite from a bird. The head, you know, a bird goes with the head first down the throat. Now this one, this otter, I don't know if he's young and don't do any better, but the fins can get lodged in the throat. And there's another one. He said, okay, I think it's a young one. That looks young. And but I want to go back to the teeth. Can you see? Oh, look right there. See the teeth? Look how sharp their teeth are. And that's from, of course, chewing on logs and everything. But they have some really sharp, strong teeth. And they can live, I was looking them up just to share some information with you. They can live 10 or 15 years in the wild. But the story I was reading, in captivity, if they're sort of in an area where they're fed a lot, they can live up to 25 years. Isn't that interesting? Something to do right there. So, okay, now, I want to share this with you. I was, over Christmas, and you try to clean up stuff and all, and for the New Year's, and throw stuff away, and because you got more junk to put in this place. And I ran across this folder. You may can read. It says "Show Highlights of '08." I just sat down and got tickled because of the technology, and everything that I show you now is right here. But back in the day, we when we first started, we were doing pictures, and so I pulled some out. This is like the 3rd year. This is our 19th year. This is year number 3. And what I did, I collected what I consider to show highlights, and we were able to, we put it on the stand here, the picture, and Jeff had that camera coming in. It's a lot easier now. And by the way, Jeff does an amazing job switching back and forth from the from the picture to me, because sometimes sometimes I just run my mouth and talking, but all these pictures, and I really got a kick out. I'm going to show you them all, but there were some of them just so good. But here's one, the biggest one I saved. This was, I wrote, old school, wrote on the back where it was. This was in August at Henson's Crossroads. And check out all those rattlesnakes up there. That was 2008. And there were so many, I have some family pictures in here of the kids. There's I'm not going to show you all of them, but every one of them are written on the back. That's one of my students there with a big old bass, 10-pound bass. Okay, look at those flounder there. But anyway, those are in the 12 months of the show. There's Matthew, my nephew, and Dylan, who was in the video. That's him as a baby. Let's see. I wanted to show. How about a kingfish tournament? We're fishing a kingfish tournament right here. Check it out. That year, boat number 5, we only got 10th place, but we got in the top 10 out of 85 boats when my buddy's there. And here's one of Walter and Whitney, Mason, and Ashley back in hunting in 2008. So anyway, these are just the show highlights. Big king mackerel. I could spend Chappie Chambers here, and big red, all kind of stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to share these different things. But I was looking for one, Blair Morgan, my buddy Blair Morgan, before he passed away, and I couldn't find it. But here, this was his boat. His boat was called a Blue Water Bandit, and that was his girlfriend, Sherry Thacker. This was September of that year at Indian Pass. So anyway, you see how technology has changed, and it's a lot better. But this is special to me. That's part of our, and I'm going to save it. I'm not going to throw those things away. And the bad thing about it now, with these pictures, I show them and then I discard all them. So I don't really have a lot of show highlights other than the videos I show you during Christmas break. So I just thought you can see how technology changes, but I still like the old pictures and all. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Great tackle store there, all kind of stuff for clothing, and it's really a cool place, locally owned or locally built. It's really, really cool. Here we go. The time's 3:16 to 5:16 this morning, 3:40 to 5:40 this afternoon. It's going to be cold. It's going to be real cold. I just told Jeff I got to show you 3 more pictures real quick. We're talking about when J.B. Hiller talking about all the mullet, get in a hole, everybody gathers up. You may not be able to see it. This was from the Choctawhatchee River back in 2008. So here it is right there. See all the people in that mullet hole right there. And then one more, this just one speckled trout caught, but what's cool about it, it's caught on a devil horse. Remember the old devil horse lure? That's what these speckled trout are caught on. And the last one, a picture of Captain Roy and myself. This was on the Gemini Queen, which we don't have Gemini Queen anymore, and Captain Roy's not with us anymore, so things have changed. But we'll take, if you remember, we'll take that fall trip, a fall trip on the Gemini Queen and with the viewers, and we loaded that boat up and have so many fond memories of that. So I would like to get back to maybe doing a fall trip on one of those head boats. Okay, let's move along. I've got a lot of stuff too. I want to show you, we're talking about deer and hogs, how the sense of hearing is so good, and it's spooky. I was talking to my nephew, Matthew, on a video. I talked to him last week at my granddaddy's place, his great-granddaddy, and he has full access to it. I let he and Dylan come up there, and they take good care of it. So they've been trying to take some hogs. They've been shot some hogs out of there, but he said he'll have them on camera and then go try to shoot them. But he figured out they will hear him when he opens the gate. You know how the chain hits the metal on the gate? And of course, they're 700, 800 yards from the gate, really. But they can hear the chain. So here's what he did. I thought this was very smart. Here's the gate up in my granddaddy's old place. And he put, this is that foam that he put around the, that black foam he put around the pipes and all. Now, isn't that a creative idea? I told Matthew I was proud of him. So it won't hear the clanking when you unlock it, and you cannot help that chain hitting the gate. It just clanking and makes a loud noise. Well, that was spooking the hogs out of there. So I thought that was cool. Okay, let's see. I've got so much to do in this morning's show. I need to ask. Let me go ahead and ask some names so they don't catch up with us. Here we go. I'll keep sending them in. We'll try to get them all in. And I've got some more stuff to go over just to get to it when we can. From Howard Creek, got a good group of folks down there. How about Kathy Booker, Jared Vickers, Howard Creek, Beverly Taylor, Parker, there's another one, and Johnny Taylor. See, sometimes we stick together. Houston Taylor, legendary fisherman, Houston Taylor from Parker, along with Luke Nicolaco from Destin, Russell Womble from Destin, Mary Gilmore, and David Gilmore. They've been with us for 19 years. I remember them winning before. Beth Rogers, Sand Hills, and Steve Rogers. Beth is the better half of that group right there. Tori Baum, Santa Rosa Beach. Be ready for those bears over there. Frank Borges, Santa Rosa Beach. Teresa Brown, Santa Rosa. We've got a good group in Santa Rosa. Dennis Borges and Teresa Borges, Teresa Brown, Santa Rosa, and Dennis Borges, Santa Rosa, okay? Donald Borges, Santa Rosa, and Dave, that's the Borges family. See, Sarah Taylor Parker, Ronald Matthews, Lynn Haven, Marie Hall, Darrell Hall, Sheila Miller, Wausau, and Johnny Miller, Wausau. They're the proud parents of Heather Taylor, who does all that fishing, sends all those reports, and teaches school there, so glad to have those. I was going to, I wanted to show you a couple more pictures if I can get to them real quick. And keep sending those cards in, and we'll get them. There's a story behind this. This is, okay, here's Ed Popple, a high school buddy of mine. We played football together. Okay, he got this 10-point. This is a 10-point. Now, we haven't showed a 10-point. Here's right here. This is up in Casper County. Here's a quick story on this. We, every outdoor adventure has a story. I was just telling Jeff before the show, about 3-4 times a year, there's a group of old football players from Quincy High School to gather up and have lunch at a golf club there, and just sit around and talk about old times. I'm one of the youngest guys there, so you want to say old. And so we were meeting, this was last Thursday. We had lunch up there, and it was, talk about, it just had very, just warm and fun, enjoyable, and laughing and joking. And well, Ed Popple, right after we finished eating, Ed, and he was a good ball player. He was one of my brother's best friends, and he got up and he left right after he ate, which is unusual. I thought he might have been sick or something, because he just sort of went on out of there. Well, what was he doing? Well, you see, he left the luncheon and went. He didn't live about 4 or 5 miles from where we're eating, no less than that, and went down behind his house in the backyard and shot a 10-point. He had it shot and quartered up. He was hanging up right here. He had a shot. He does his own deal, shot and quartered up by dark. He said it was all set at dark. So anyway, I thought that was a funny story. I texted him back when he posted it. I said, Ed, why didn't you take me with you? I thought we were buddies. So he put a smile and a laughing face on the way back. But that just goes to show you, I mean, you go have lunch with a group of guys and, well, I got to leave. I want to go shoot a 10-point. And that's how it happens. And some of us that will sit there all weekend, the 3 or 4 days, and not see a 10-point. But I love those fishing stories and hunting stories, outdoor stories here in Florida Panhandle. So that was special. I got some more stuff. Tomorrow we're going to try to get Travis. We're going to try to get Travis Basford to come in. We've had with that bad weather last week, we had to cancel out. But he should be in tomorrow and go over a lot of good things and have a case for the month. And if you have some good pictures to share, I'll send them to us. Okay. You have a great day. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors, and let's take care of it. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.